Hi there, Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine with this week's web fishing report. Got a lot to get to, so I'm going to hop right into it by first off reminding you that this week begins the return of the weekly printing of the Fisherman magazine as we kick off the inaugural weekly fishing guide. Now this is available to all subscribers of the Fisherman magazine. It'll be available electronically just like our standard monthly issues, and it'll also be mailed to subscribers, so keep a lookout for that in your mailbox this week. Last week marked the first day of spring for the year, and following suit I saw my first pterodactyls, or as the rest of you refer to them, great blue heron, flying overhead. For me this always marks a sign that spring is right around the corner as these birds begin to return to the area. Also coming up this week is the final fishing show of the season for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine. We'll be at the New England Saltwater Fishing Show, also referred to as the Rhesus Show, in Providence. It runs from this Friday through Sunday, and the Fisherman magazine has an expanded double booth this year. We'll be at booth number 827 and 828. We got plenty of gifts to give away with your subscription renewals as well as brand new subscriptions, so stop on by, say hello. I really look forward to this show. Look forward to seeing everybody. As far as fishing this week, again with the start of spring last week, we saw quite a bit of fishing kicking in. I don't know if this just was the sign for anglers to get out there, or the little bit of warmth that we saw got them in gear. Whatever the case may be, it just seems like the fishing reports were really increased this week. Pike fishing on the Connecticut River still remains a very good bet, as those pike are just starting to come into the shallows and some of the open water. Again, it's a changeover from ice fishing that we had all year. Open water, spring pike fishing, this is centered around their spawning. So I got to remind you once again, if you hook into one of those big spring pike, please release them, as this is for the health of the future of the fishery. Striped bass, we're starting to see them moving as well. Again, the warm weather that we saw, ice is melting, so a lot of the shore guys are able to access all the rivers throughout New England. All those classic spring and late winter holdover fish are starting to kick into gear. Boat ramps are all generally thawed out on those rivers, so guys are able to get out by boat, by kayak, by shore. I got reports from fish being landed in Connecticut, all the classic rivers that you see here. Rhode Island, that's starting to kick into gear again. Even up in Massachusetts, they're starting to show. So things are starting to get into gear. We've got some herring starting to pop in all the states as well. So I mean, the season is really right around the corner for those big fresh fish that should be coming anytime now. The freshwater side, trout stocking is underway across the region. Mass, Connecticut, Rhode Island have all begun running into some problems in a few places. Some of the lakes, for instance, are still frozen over, but you know, the streams and rivers, those stockings are kicking into gear. And I mean, each of those states has somewhere in the range of 500,000 trout that are going to be dropped into the water. So there will be plenty of fish to catch for the states that have an opening day. For instance, April 19th, I believe, here in Connecticut. Everything is listed, though, as far as those opening days in the event section of the Fisherman. Let's see, what else? Ice fishing. This was the year of the ice fishing, but it's finally, for those of us that aren't big into ice fishing, starting to melt away. However, if you are an ice angler and you still got to scratch the itch, there is some safe ice across the region. So this time of the year, they'll be very careful. Keep an eye on the thickness as you go. Check as you move around, and just be careful, because even though one area might have safe ice, another part of your lake may not. So just be very careful. I'm going to end it with cod this week. Unfortunately, once again, Mother Nature kept all the boats in Rhode Island at the dock. I didn't get any reports after Sunday. There were some decent catches over last weekend, but after that, it was pretty much it. The boats were stuck at the dock. And along those lines, the Island Current has planned to head back to New York for the season. They gave it a go. They did very well this year. They'd like to thank all the customers that came out and hopped on the boat for a trip or two. However, there is still an opportunity, as the end of March into early April usually provide some pretty good fishing, as both the Francis Fleet and the 7Bs will continue to sail as weather permits. So keep an eye on the reports, contact the boats if you're looking to get out with them. So again, I'm Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine. I look forward to seeing everybody this coming weekend at the New England Saltwater Fishing Show in Providence. Tight lines if you get out in the meantime.